I isolated myself for 12 hours a day making funny moments videos that 1,000 people saw, if even. Again, hopefully one day it might work out.
You're like, oh, this is very long term. It's like, no, it's not. This is gonna die really hard too.
I was bum maxing, to put it lightly. Like, it was bad.
I mean, it can get worse, I assure you.
But I had a big YouTube dream.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Look who we have today. He might have been on Unsub or not. We don't know yet. We have Atozy on the show. Hi, Atozy.
Hey, how you doing? Hi, Eli.
Hi. Hi.
I've now said hi. Hi, Eli.
That
was the intro.
That was the smoothest
We did it.
It went, I think.
Oh, really? Okay,
dude.
let's go.
Everyone else, it's like, it's this weird back and forth. And then I've had friends get embarrassed because, like, say that. And then they're like, what's up, man? Fuck. Just trip up. They're like, I'm sorry, what can we restart? I'm like, you're good, man. It's just hilarious. Just keep it all in. Dude, and that was a blast yesterday. You've been down in Texas for, this is day 3, but you're just experiencing the Unsub and the boys, the Texas boys right now.
Yeah, no, it's been very fun. I enjoy my time here. First time in San Antonio, and I've had a wonderful time.
Fuck yeah. You've been an absolute pleasure to work with and then be on the podcast. And I'm more excited about your childhood because you're like, you dropped out of high school like me.
Yeah.
And then you are still crushing life, but you had you're at peaks and valleys and you're like, oh shit moments.
Yeah.
Throughout that. But
a bunch.
Dude, and you work so hard, which is so refreshing. And I think that's where the audience is going to love it. Is like, holy shit, this dude. He works hard. He wants to do 2 uploads a day, which is wild. Wild, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We haven't got there yet, but we're working on it.
I know. But sometimes you do.
I do double upload on some days, yeah.
Dude, and it's started at what you said you started like 9 or 13 years old, 12 years old. What was your first video?
So I started posting content on YouTube. It was like ski edits, and I did that in 2009. So that would probably be me 11 turning 12 is when I first started making videos.
What were you filming on at that time?
My Sony Ericsson Walkman phone. So we were hitting maybe 144p at the most. Eventually we graduated to I wonder if it was a Panasonic camcorder or not. I think we graduated to that. But I do not remember the model or anything. It was one of those
the camcorder with the side handle.
Yeah, with the side thing. Yeah, graduated one of those, and definitely broke one while skiing because they're not a big fan of cold weather, and they're definitely not a big fan of having snow all in them. So
and wrecking.
Yeah, exactly. So hey, it is. And then like finally we probably graduated into like I think it was like GoPro. I don't know if it was the first GoPro or the Hero 2.
Oh yeah, the OGs.
Was probably what I then started using there, and then ended up pivoting to making gaming content.
What made you actually start where you're like, I want to film this? Even at that age, it's still more rare, but you're like, okay, I'm skiing, I love to do this, but I want to film it. What was the inspiration behind that?
I just thought it was really cool documenting things, and obviously online you didn't really have, at least back then, you didn't have a very big ski culture, or like an online ski culture. What I normally saw was kind of like all the skateboard films and all that stuff, and it was like a lot of inspiration from the early skate videos and stuff that made me want to go out and film skiing. Like, you had a handful of guys who were doing it, but it wasn't like, YouTube was just so different then. So you didn't have the search engine optimize or like the recommendation system just didn't exist back then. So I'm sure there were pockets of the internet where they were posting a bunch of ski videos, but I just couldn't find a lot of them. Like, I'm assuming like Tanner Hall and the big guys back then were doing it. But yeah, no. So I took a lot of inspiration from the skate videos and just kind of did my own thing. And I made a dozen of awful videos. And what I'm really sad about is I deleted most of those because I was embarrassed of them. And that is like at about probably like 17 or 18, that's when the regret of deleting a lot of those videos kicked in. Because, you know, voice hadn't dropped then. So it was just me screaming. And like, it's like, I don't know, but like, I wish I had those videos now because they would be so awesome to look back on. But yeah.
Oh, dude, it is so brutal because now when you think about it, you're like, I should have just privated them.
Yeah, exactly. No, back then I was just embarrassed and just deleted them. I was like, this isn't good content. I deleted them. And I probably deleted them at like, what, 13 or 14 years old.
I did the same. I deleted like my old comedy sketches. I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. Or, oh, this can't get out.
Cool to see now because that's the journey. And I hate that I eliminated so much of the early journey. But, and I did that with my main YouTube channel as well. I had so many more gaming videos that were awful before the first gaming video that's currently public on my channel right now. And I hate that I did that as well. But hey, it is what it is. The first gaming video that's public on my channel right now is me doing some sort of glitch on Battlefield 3 where I jump across an entire map. Yeah, it's like a rocket jump.
Oh, I love it. That's hilarious. It's rocket jump. It's
yeah,
like Freddie's big YouTube video was the rocket jump. That's where his company name come from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
was it a TF2 rocket jump or was it a?
I want to say Halo or TF2, and this was 2008 or 9.
That would be Halo probably then.
Yeah, and it's wild to think back then. Him hitting 10 million subs or 9 million subs was in 2010. It was like holy
That's
shit.
a unicorn. That's unheard of.
Yeah, and now it's how many channels have hit that, which is wild.
That's scary. Well, after short form content really got introduced to YouTube, that's when you suddenly saw a lot of people like just jump like 5 million subs in a year. Like it's crazy, and like power to those guys who like figured it out early on as well. TikTok is something I massively missed. Like everyone was on TikTok. I made a bunch of videos on TikTok, but I never thought, oh, I should probably make a TikTok account and just post shorter versions of my main long form camera or long form content onto TikTok. But yeah, here we are.
You know,
lessons learned.
You can collab now on YouTube?
Oh, I have seen that where you can group post or post together. Yeah, dude, that is interesting.
It's helpful as shit. Like we've been testing it. YouTube's big, and anyone out there listening, if they are introducing something new, hop on that because they usually push it a lot harder in the algorithm. It's one thing we've always noticed. So if we see something, we test it. If it does good, it's like, hey, just roll it out. Just literally roll all of this out.
I think I saw Mr. Beast in the NFL doing that for one of their videos. That was like, oh.
Yeah, we're in a different. We collab with each other.
Yeah, no, well, that's the actual use case for it, right? I haven't seen it yet with the regular creators. Does everyone have access to it yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of us started doing it with the last episode of Unsub and Say Hi on each other's podcast, and you get a huge uptick because it's getting served. It's like, hey, it's here, but it gets served to. Like, let's say
have to make some collab videos, then some commentary, boys.
Your unsub, so your episode, if you collab, it will push to your audience under. It will say unsub and Atozy, and it will push to your audience. It will show up in your audience feed, and then yours naturally pops up in our feed too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then you see a huge spike in subs. Like, that's the one thing Nick's. His other podcast, Underwhelming with Zach, he finally did that collab, tagged, and in an instant it was like a 10K sub boost.
Wow.
And they're like, holy shit, this is in 2 days. Okay, what the hell? This is great. So now we're just pushing the shit out of that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. And you're like, so you did OG short form. I think you're doing it right. A lot of the people that hopped on that short form train, because all those subs came in. That's why I don't know if you've seen the new play buttons that were getting smaller and smaller. Have you seen that?
Yeah, the shrinkflation with the sub button.
Bro.
I have the original silver, but I have not the current gold, but the older gold. So I don't have the play button anymore. I have the plaque, but not the smaller plaque. I have the big gold plaque, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I have the original silver play button, which is kind of cool because I was kind of. I hit the 100K and I was at 100K for a long time until I finally had that big blow up period later on, because it's been ebbing and flowing for a while now.
That's why you just have to stick to it. A lot of people, it's like, oh, it's been down for like a few months. Oh, I'm gonna peace out. I can't do this, and you're like, just stick with it.
I'm just happy to be here, man.
Dude, you're killing it. And we talked yesterday. It was commentary, I watch you and Oompa, and then that's it. And that's how I found your stuff and reached
I
out.
appreciate it.
And you're like, hey, what's up? I was like, oh shit, okay. You want to come on to the podcast? Bullshit. Also, the Matt City, figure that business out because I love it.
Thank you.
Dude, it's awesome to see just and then last night, just the entrepreneurship. It's like, hey, I want to make this work. But then your business idea yesterday, which we won't go into, it's just a genius one. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, this is a guy that knows what he is doing, and he knows, hey, this is important for everyone. So that's why it's going to be successful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's just awesome to see, man. It's rare. And that's why, like, everyone that watches this, they're like, holy shit, these dudes motivated me. Or, man, that guy was in a really bad place and then came out of it even stronger. So that's always the purpose of this. It's just motivate the shit out of people and then show people it's like also it's a lot of hard work. Like,
yeah. But it's like hard work is easy when it's fun. So obviously it gets tedious at times, and there's many times where you're like, I do not want to do this right now. But then once you kind of force yourself to get into it, you're like, I actually am having fun. So
and then you see the reaction. You're like, okay, this is dope. This is dope.
Yeah. It's just getting yourself into the cold water sometimes. But once you're there, you're like, okay, I can survive.
So how were the parents' reaction? You came from like a low income going into middle income.
No, I would say middle and then going up. Yeah, I mean, my parents were very they're not a fan of my route early on, to put it lightly. And for context, like, I born in Boston, moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and then ended up moving to Norway. And I live very rural Norway. That's where I was raised. So I'm from Lillehammer, Norway, which is the Olympic city of 1994. That's our only claim to fame. Beautiful. One of the most beautiful places in the world. Very biased, obviously. But there's not that much that happens there. So especially when you go to high school over an hour away. So that kind of sucked.
That's every day?
Yeah, so an hour each way. So I'd get up at 6 in the morning because school started at 8, but I need to get up at 6 to then walk probably like 20 minutes to the bus station, and then I would take an hour bus every morning to school and back. So I did that. And that was fascinating. It was interesting. And the reason I did that, because there are high schools in Lillehammer, but they didn't have media and communication at the high school.
Oh, no
so
shit.
I elected to go to a high school that had a media and communication class in it, because I wanted to learn how to use cameras, and I wanted to work more with editing and so on.
And so you actually learned that because of the school you chose for high school
Well,
and middle school?
it was kind of like I self-taught myself basically everything, but I got the reps in at school. So it was like an excuse to kind of use these self-taught skills. Because I'm one of those kids who taught myself, or who learned everything off of YouTube. Like, anything I wanted to learn, I just searched how to do that on YouTube and then watched a whole bunch of videos on it. And that's why YouTube is just such an underappreciated asset when it comes to education, and really anything, honestly. Because however niche it is, there's some dude who probably has a how-to video on it. But yeah, no,
I can't stress how good that is. Like, we try to reiterate that so much. It's like, hey, you have zero excuse for not being able to learn something, or even with employees or former employees or people trying to get hired. The first thing you should do, if you're hired, just say you can do it, figure it out. YouTube will teach you, but don't reach out to your boss and like, how do I do this? Mm-hmm. Like, that is a wild thing. I've had editors like, how do I do this one thing? I'm like, did you Google that or YouTube that yet? No.
yeah.
Why am I supposed to give you the class on this then, homie? I don't know.
Yeah.
And you have the right mindset. It's like, hey, I'm gonna teach myself. And that goes, I guarantee, for your employees, you probably prefer people that are self-motivated and self-educated.
Of course. And well, they have to have a passion and drive for what they're doing. And if they don't have that, it's just hard, because obviously it's easier to teach a skill, harder to give someone drive.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I look for when bringing new people onto my team. But to add more context to how Norway works, you kind of have like the elementary school is really wide in Norway. You don't start in kindergarten, you start in first grade. It goes all the way until 7th grade. Then you have, I guess, middle school in Norway is 8th through 10th. And then you have high school, which is 11th through 13th.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's blowing my mind is you picking your fucking high school you get to go to, not based off of location. That's wild.
It's super odd, right? Because so
God, this ghost bed mattress is cool, comfortable, and amazing. And when you pair it with one of their amazing pillows, it's better than doing the deed. She heard that. And another thing, the bed can't leave you. Oh. Well, looks like I'll be sleeping alone. But at least I'll be sleeping cool and comfortable with their new technology. And they're built to last. High quality, durable material, backed with a 20 to 25 year warranty. That's gonna last longer than my marriage. And they have 60,000 5-star reviews. I sleep on a ghost bed, I swear by it, and I couldn't go back, even for her. Right now, prices are already lower, but you'll get an extra 10% off if you use code Eli at checkout. That's ghostbed.com/Eli. Use code Eli. Sleep better and stay cooler. I miss her, but I can sleep like an angel. Here you are going to wherever your district is, and you have no say on that. Do you know, like for
unless private or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I went. It was all public, so there was no private school. And so after 10th grade, it's like, and that's kind of like the end of middle school. You apply for what high school you want to go to, and you have to have a certain grade point average to get into the high school you want to get into. So that's kind of how Norway works. Obviously, it depends on where in Norway you are, how competitive each school is, and what school you want to get into. For example, like at least my understanding, it's like there's a high demand. No, there's not high demand. If you want to, for example, go and become like a blue collar worker, right? It's pretty easy to get into the blue collar schools because everyone for some reason is trying to go into Allemansfag, which essentially is everything course. And those are the ones that kind of like prepare you the most for university, like if you want to do finance or accounting or so on and so on.
They actually train you though, like, hey, you're going out in the real world.
Yeah.
Here is some guidance.
It's more specialized. Yeah.
That's awesome though.
So that's really, no, I agree. And I thought it was really cool. And yeah, meeting communication was essentially, it's like a prerequisite to university, but they get like, so what is it? Film school, but in high school. So you have a few classes each week and you have normal school. And then like, for example, our Thursdays, the first half of Thursday would only be media work, or the last half of like a Friday would only be media work, but every other day was normal school day.
That's awesome.
So I opted to do the whole like hour bus ride each way so I could get some more time behind cameras, work with cool gadgets, and sit and edit. So that's why I decided to do that, and because it was fun.
So you were doing that. I love that idea though. Like even in high school, middle school, it's teaching you and setting you up. Like, hey, I'm interested in this. Okay, here, let's do that. Not, hey, go to college. I'm interested in that. Okay, this sucks. I don't want to do this. Now
and that's what's like really interesting as well, because I have so many friends who did the media course and they were like, you know what, media work is not for me. I don't like that. So they just graduated and they went to normal university because they knew like, hey, I don't need to go to film school. I don't need to spend way too much money to figure out. Not into it.
Yep.
So, and then also like they did a pretty decent job at kind of setting us up and saying like, hey, these are the kind of jobs you're probably going to get after this school, or if you choose to go to film school or any special, like design was also a thing, like, you know, like design school, like, so this would be like, what's it called? Like graphics design and stuff
Okay,
like
yep.
that. So like, you know, media campaigns and all that magazine stuff. So yeah, they kind of gave us pretty good expectations of, hey, this is what you're going to do if you manage to get this job, and this is how much you'll probably make if you go in there. So that was cool.
Way better than the U.S.
Yeah, and Norway does a lot of things that are way better than the US.
I mean, the film school, I'm not sure if you've ever looked at pricing on how, there's only a handful, and I mean like less than 10 that are actually accredited film schools in the United States.
Interesting.
They're very, like, most are non-accredited.
I used to want to go to Full Sail.
Non-accredited.
Yeah, I know. I
And
used to,
very
for some
expensive.
reason, I used to want to go to Full Sail when I was in media school. I was like, that sounds so cool. I don't know why or who I was watching, but I used to watch some YouTube vlogger who went to Full Sail, and I was like, that looks like such a fun experience. Thank goodness I didn't go, but
$80 to $120,000 later.
oh, that would have been a nightmare.
Oh, dude,
That would have
they're
been an absolute nightmare.
That's the crazy thing. Those non-accredited film schools are like, you at minimum 60 grand for 4 years. Like, most people are paying 30 grand a year just to go. And then there is no, oh, you can't transfer any of these credits. And then, oh, we'll try to help you find a gig as a grip when you get out. And then you have to work up that ladder anyways.
Wow.
Dude, it's brutal.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, oh, this isn't for me. I told you, I went to the meet or the showing of the school. It's like your day one to enroll. And after that, I was like, never mind. I'm just going to keep learning off of YouTube. I'll just teach myself. And then I found my buddy Gallagher, and we just kept learning VFX and shooting once a week. It's like, hey, let's just once a week, we got to film something. We got to create once a week. Just kept that going from 2009 to 2013, 14.
That's awesome.
No money, zero fucking money.
Yeah.
But just for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And hoping it would turn into something.
Well, that's kind of like how it was for YouTube. I mean, like, I didn't make any money on YouTube for many years doing it, but I was still, I'm trying to think. I think I upload once a week at least since 2013.
Once a day, almost.
Well, like,
Oh,
well,
once
at least
actually from 2013. That's
from
wild.
2013.
You've never missed a week.
I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure on that right now. And I might have, or unfortunately, I've deleted a bunch of videos of the old ones, which was just so stupid again. But yeah, no, I was just obsessed with making content all the time, even though if I didn't make money on it early on. But I remember I probably hit 1,000 subscribers in April or May of 2013. And that's when I got monetized. That's when I got the old YouTube banner over my thing with the clickable links and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. I thought that was really cool for a while, obviously, and then they removed it like maybe a year after I got it. But if you go on the Wayback Machine, you can still see the old screenshot of my original channel back then. So that was pretty cool.
Dude, those old YouTube channels, even the layout of OG YouTube, you look at that and you're like, what the fuck? This has came so far. And all the changes people got pissed at the time. Like,
Yeah.
this is garbage. It's not old YouTube. And now where it is, you're like, okay, this is really refined. And then it's just crazy to see how many content creators now do it. And kids that pursue it for a dream. Like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
The wild.
Oh, I was known as the wannabe YouTuber in school. Like, so I was not that was a common thing when people called me. I was like, oh, it's the wannabe YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully one day.
Well, that's everyone's gonna doubt you. Yeah, you probably got so much pushback, and then even from parents, they can be supportive, but they're not gonna understand. My dad, I've told this story. My dad had no fucking clue what I did until last year when he went to my live show.
Oh, really?
My dad still would ask if I needed help with money or anything. He's like, "Pops, you doing okay? The internet stuff's okay? Like, how's it going?" Because he never would come visit. I would always travel to him, visit. So he never came down to my house, anything like that. And then he went to one of the live shows, and that's when he was like, what the hell? Why is there a line outside? He couldn't wrap his head around it. And then he was just like, proud dad moment for him. But until then, did not know what the fuck I did. He just thought it was internet magic.
Yeah.
He's a Facebook like he doesn't know how to use the internet. He barely uses it, so it just couldn't wrap around. He was old school Mexican, and until last year, he was saying, I still should go to college and get an education just in case this doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, Dad, I don't think I'm going to do that ever. He's like, are you sure, Pops? I don't know if that's the internet. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think I'm doing. Now he's like, oh, good job, Pops. After I bought him his truck. That's when it
you
really
buy him a truck first.
Yeah,
and then he was like, okay.
When I bought him a brand new truck, that's when it like,
yeah,
dude. And then he's just old Mexican that wouldn't drive his truck for 3 weeks because he didn't want to. He made my sister drive it because he didn't want to wreck it or anything. I'm like, Dad, I bought you that. Beat it up. I don't care. He's like, but what happens if it gets wrecked, Pops? I'm like, that's the purpose. He's always owned like 30-year-old vehicles.
Yeah.
So he's never owned a new vehicle in his life. So it was just like,
that's nice.
Yeah, it was just watching his smile and watching that reaction of not know what to do. Mm-hmm. Bluetooth, he didn't even know what that was.
That's funny.
I was like, oh, this is awesome. Awesome. It was like one of my most proud moments of building up to that. I was like, hey, here you go, Pops.
That's so cool.
Have you got to do that yet with your parents, or got them anything with like, oh shit?
No,
thanks?
I mean, so like my parents, they're extremely well off right now. So like, there's nothing I can really do to change their lives at any point. Because we started off middle class, and then slowly their business grew. So
and you think you got that work ethic from like watching your dad, probably mom and dad work, but your dad's the entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
that probably
just
off.
Watching him the whole time. Yeah, my mom, stay-at-home mom. So I got a lot of time with her, and just saw my dad slowly scale his company from not much to something pretty cool. And yeah, obviously that was really inspirational, but I was also kind of the whole thing of like, I was a stubborn kid wanting to do my own thing. I was like, I want to make this YouTube thing work. They obviously, they supported me, but they weren't a fan of how much time I spent on my room. Because I was locked away in my room all the time, just literally making videos. I isolated myself for 12 hours a day, making funny moments videos that 1,000 people saw, if even. Yep. Every day. Every day. And then there was points where like, if I didn't finish the video, I just stayed up editing, and I was working on it at like 3 a.m. and stuff like that. And I remember my dad would just like pull the plug of the internet all the time, because he'd hear me up at like 3 a.m. He'd pull the plug of the internet. I'm like, well, there went today's upload. Okay, we'll try again tomorrow. I guess I'll start the upload before I head to school. So no, that happened so many times. Yeah, no, it was interesting. And then obviously, I wasn't a big fan of school because I was spending all my time doing YouTube videos. I was sleeping a lot in school, and there was like a contention in my class where they were like, oh, he was making YouTube videos all night, so he's sleeping again. It's the wannabe YouTuber. So I was like, yep. Again, hopefully one day it might work out. Thankfully, so it did suddenly start working out a little bit with gaming. There was a few things that happened. So first I joined, I think it was Curse Union for Gamers was the first YouTube network I joined.
Oh, interesting.
And it was owned by Curse, which used to be Curse Client, which I think was acquired by Twitch, then acquired by Amazon. But originally, they were the first creator-first network. They were kind of like, hey, we have minimum sub requirements. Like, we want you to have about 1,000 subscribers and like 50,000 views on your channel, and we'll partner you. You can make a little bit of money, and we'll only take 10%. You get 90%, which is unheard of back then. This is back in the day when you had Machinima running like, hey, maybe we'll give you 40%. Like, I heard so many on like 60-40, but Machinima was taking 60.
And then they owned indefinite. You seen that
shit?
shit?
Oh yeah, like locked in for life and stuff like that. Yeah, no, those were like illegal contracts to my knowledge.
Yep.
Crazy work. Thankfully, I didn't have to go through that. I was behind a lot of those creators who had to step on those landmines for us. So thank you guys for your service, for going through all that.
Dude,
That is,
that machinima time frame is wild.
I can't believe it. We had a handful. We had a handful of creators in Norway who were actually in machinima. So that was kind of cool because back then, honestly, like it was kind of, even though machinima had all the predatory contracts, just having that machinima intro playing before your videos, I was like, oh, he's in the big leagues.
Yep. He made it.
He made it. Oh, he's in. So that's the interest. They were really good at branding.
Yeah.
If only they just really took care of their people, it would have been pretty different. But
So why it is something like being a business owner and then having employees working with other content creators, like building even a streaming service, and then it is wild to not put them first in my head. I'm like, my business fails if the creators aren't happy or the customer's not happy. But then to build an entire platform or business where you're just fucking over the creators.
yeah,
Like,
it's like creator business of ripping off the creator is very fascinating.
Yes.
To be honest.
You're like, oh, this is very long term. It's like, no, it's not. No, the fuck, it's not. This is going to die really hard too. This is going to, where's Machinima now?
I went to the Machinima offices back in 2017. They had like this massive office. I think it was in Universal.
Oh, no shit.
I wonder if I'm not sure now. I want to say Universal might have acquired them. If not, they had this massive office space in Universal. It was really nice. I remember being golf carted over to their thing.
Damn.
It was cool. It was really cool. And I wasn't there for me. I was there with another friend who had a way bigger channel than me. But still, no, very, very interesting thing. So clearly either they made or they raised a bunch of money. So who knows?
Yup.
But let's see. I digress. Going back to gaming, signed with Curse, made a whole buttload of funny moments videos. Then I ended up being, I was actually discovered by a Norwegian esports organization called BX3. And BX3, their claim to fame is Street Fighter, because they had
Justin Wong.
They had one of the best Street Fighter players in the world, Phenom.
Okay.
Phenom, I think his name was, because they had Veggie and they had Phenom.
It's ball sack. There's the PP head. I'm just assuming all dude ball sacks have that line down the middle. Eli, what are you showing with that ball sack next to your face? Yeah, that's right. It's a Manscaped ad. Whether you're looking for a trim, a shape, or a detailed touch-up, Manscaped face shaving products are built to handle shaving your face with ease. I'll be right back. Confirm the handyman can be used to shave and clean up your face. I just did my neckline really, really well. I think I've been using this product wrong. Crafted for efficiency and perfect for those face shaving needs. And the perfect addition for your grooming arsenal. It won't even pop a balloon. This is now a face with the butt chin. The Handyman is a sleek, powerful face shaving device that helps you get rid of that mess. Cordless and designed for convenience. It easily fits in your bathroom drawer or a prison wallet. Featuring a standard foil shaver and a long hair trimmer blade, which can handle up to 3 days of beard growth, or in my case, 3 months. Join the over 12 million men who trust Manscaped and upgrade to the Handyman Rocket. You can use my code SAYHI to save up to 15% your entire order over at manscaped.com. That's 15% off plus free shipping with code SAYHI. Don't miss out. Upgrade your grooming game at Manscaped.
Phenom or Phenom. I'm not sure which
OG
one. One of the ones. Anyway, so that was kind of like their big one, and they also had a League team, they had a Counter-Strike team, and they wanted to start building an influencer team because they started catching wind that like, oh, influencers, this could be big. And that was the first time I went to meet them in Oslo, the capital of Norway. Everything in Norway pretty much happens in Oslo. I think 1/5 of the population lives there. I'm raised about an hour and a half to 2 hours north of Oslo in the Lillehammer.
Okay.
So I would take the train down and meet up with them. And that was like the first time I was like, whoa. People make a living off of just internet money being online. This is crazy. So that was like a big eye opener for me, that like esports and gaming. At that time also, I was a big esports fan, watched a bunch of Counter-Strike and League of Legends and even professional WoW, because I lost way too many hours in WoW.
This is 2017?
No, this is 2015.
No shit. Oh yeah, esports was just popping off too. Like that's when you're getting that huge wave.
So yeah, no, 2015, I started going down to Oslo a bunch, and the BX3, I guess one of my BX3 managers was just like the best dude ever. He had an extra room in his apartment, and he was like, hey, I know your parents pull the internet on you while you're uploading videos and stuff. You can just come crash here, make content, make all the content you want here. Like I'll help you out. And that was extraordinarily helpful. Holy shit. I just kept going to Oslo. I just got to crash in his spare room all the time. And he was kind of just like a mentor, and just kind of kept me. He was one of the first people who was like, hey, it's okay that you want to do this alternative path. And that was like very needed in my life at the time. And so you had that, you had BX3, then you also had this gaming cafe called House of Nerds. And they took the South Korean PC bong experience of like, the gaming cafes in South Korea, and they brought it to Norway. And they opened one location in Oslo. And I was there all the time. And that's where I met some like my best friends to this day as well, because it was just like a place where people who were obsessed with the internet got to go sit down and play. And they also had extremely good internet. So I could upload videos, I could live stream there, but like just uploading videos there took like 10 minutes, which was unheard of for me. Like I used to start my upload at home and it would be finished uploading when I got back from school. So before I went to school, and it would like be finished by then. So it took me like 6 hours to upload a video.
It's like 1 meg.
Yeah, I back then, yeah, probably something like that. But also it was probably a lot of skill issue on my part of not rendering my videos efficiently. I was probably rendering my videos way too big compared to what YouTube, because YouTube compresses it anyway. So there was probably a lot of things that I learned along the way that could have made things easier for me.
Raw.
Oh,
good.
Dude, I don't know.
Just giant file size.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Dude, rendering is so like for the uneducated, rendering is a fucking skill set by itself that you have to study, learn, and there is so many settings.
And the other problem is, for all my gameplay videos, I used to use something called Fraps.
Oh my god, you were just fucking...
And Fraps files are behemoths, because that thing's not optimized. That thing was not. It was amazing because it allowed you to just record, but it was not optimized. So these files were...
terabytes.
Could be, yeah. It was like 100 gig files easily that I was throwing into Premiere and then rendering.
Did you say like Fraps Ventrilo? It's just how you know you're an OG YouTuber and a gamer, because those are like the two. That's the only way you could record back in the day. Oh, you download Fraps, run it.
Yeah, it was
a little counter in the top left or right corner.
Before Shadow Play.
Yeah.
OBS might have been around, but I just wasn't up to it. I started using OBS later on because OBS files were just way better. It was just infinitely better. I still use OBS for everything to this day, by the way.
Dude, it's wild. OBS watching these new content creators that do the gaming space. So your Liam Manley or Manley Reviews. There's another guy. I don't know if you've seen them. They break down the story or review the game. More on the story element, and it's them inserted in the game. So like walking around like a screenshot, and then there's tracking. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's like the new wave of how these creators are doing it. Really cool. Like it's beautiful, and I'm like, man, you get sucked in. It's like, oh, I'm Red Dead 2 or whatever game they're talking about. They are in the game, like walking, like, oh, this, and interacting like they're a character in the game.
Oh,
but then I watch how they're doing it, and I'm like, oh, this is a lot of work. Like, Liam,
yeah, I can imagine,
dude. Asking Liam, I was like, wait, how are you doing this? And I watch, they're filming it on a giant green screen in OBS with the layers put already on, and then in post they're doing VFX.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah,
brother.
that's really cool.
Yeah. I was like, this is gorgeous. Holy shit, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
This how he does like 2 a year, and then the other guy just started watching. I forget his name. He does it once a month, but the level of layers. I mean, you edit, you know how it can get really quickly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're like, oh, there's a lot of time going into this shit. But yeah, the OBS, watching people use OBS and edit, I barely use it. I'm like, even this or downstairs, you see how we go. It's like record, and then straight to DaVinci.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I run everything through OBS. So I have my microphone and amp goes into a computer, and then I connect my camera into my computer, use my camera actually like a webcam, even though it's an actual camera. I use a Canon R50. So it's not like a super high-end camera. It's a pretty low-end budget camera, but it's like, my understanding, it's like a budget full-frame camera. So picture looks good. I like it.
Looks really good.
And then what a lot of people don't understand is like a lot of it's really just in the lighting. So like if you can get a full frame and you can get good lighting, your picture will look pretty good. Yeah, no, I mean, your setup is just levels above mine. Like coming here and seeing your guys' setups made me really go, okay, it's time to lock in a little bit when it comes to my set design, because this is really cool.
You can build all this with like $4,000, I think.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
it's like
awesome.
wall panels, lighting, everything. I was like,
Looks good. You got that little fireplace going on. Does it actually make any heat, or is
you
it all
can you
display?
can
Oh,
turn
you
on
can
the
turn
heat,
on? Look at
yeah.
that.
And then it was and we did it in a day. Like,
Well, yeah, it's really cool.
thank you. That's again, it's my interest is like, hey, I'm not holding cameras or doing skits, which then I get to play with lighting, cinematography, angles. I'm like, well, I'll just do the same thing. I'll just make it podcast look really, really good. I can do that. So that was the goal with Unsub and then Say Hi. It's just, I'll make it pretty.
That's
And then
awesome.
show, as you said, if you have good lighting, you can make in
A lot of stuff happen.
yeah. It makes it look so good. Like, and yours is doing. It's just,
Thank you.
Oh, it's rare seeing.
But yeah, my let's see. So after being with BX3 for a while, they started giving me some sponsorships that actually paid my bills and made sure like, oh, I can actually do this for a living. I'm making essentially minimum wage, but like at least I can do this kind of full time. And that's when I kind of decided to drop out of high school to go for it. Because at the time I was getting some deals with Kingston HyperX.
Ooh,
So-
some RAM.
No, well, yeah, it was
and
actually
the
the
headphones.
peripherals.
Holy shit, those
it
are
was
the
their
clap.
peripherals.
Yeah.
So their keyboards. I did this whole video. I think it's still up on my channel, where I lit a keyboard on fire. That was probably not legal to do at all. Because I did it in Norway in public, but hey, it is what it is. But it was a fun video to make, and that was a Kingston HyperX ad, which was super fun. So I did a bunch of deals like that. I did something for like a Cooler Master power supply, I think it was Cooler Master case. I think it was a Cooler Master power supply as well. These are all videos that I did back in like 2015. So it's like it's a decade ago now. So I'm
God,
trying
how-
to scramble through
How old?
what I did.
You're like 16 at this time.
No, 2015. I would be 17, turning 18.
That's crazy. You're doing sponsorship deals at 17.
The craziest one we did was we did a sponsorship video for Telenor, which is the 5th largest telecommunications company in the world. We did a whole video called CS:GO on the North Pole, where the idea was, this is the first time Telenor was like, hey, we want to use influencer marketing. We want to use esport marketing. How can we show off our new 4G networks? And between the two, so there was 2 orgs that I was actually signed with both. So it was BX3 was there, and another organization called Nordic Screens, which was the #1 YouTube network in Norway at the time. And at that time, I had left Curse and joined Nordic Screens. So it was like a collaboration with both the organizations I was with. Got the Telenor contract, and essentially between Telenor, Nordic Screens, and BX3, they found out the best way or a cool way to advertise the 4G network was play a professional esports game outside. So then the whole CS:GO on the North Pole idea started. So that was like, okay, can we have a team sitting inside play against a team that's literally on Svalbard, which is as close to the North Pole you can legally get, using Telenor's 4G networks, and that's what we did.
That's
Um,
wild.
so that video is also still up, and it's up on Telenor's channel as well. And then each of the creator made their own version of it. So no, it was a really cool campaign to be a part of, and that was like the first time I ever was in this like actual like big professional media production. Because I don't know what the budget on it was, but it was definitely a big budget to get everyone out to all these random places in Norway, including Svalbard. I was one of the people who got to sit inside, so that was kind of nice. I didn't have to be suffering out in nature.
It's terrifying
But
though at that age, dude. I can't even imagine if not being used to a big production and seeing everything, because it's
yeah,
nerve wracking if you're not used to talking on camera or.
it was really cool. It was, I mean,
But you've had so many reps at that point.
yeah,
You've probably made hundreds of videos leading.
that's true, and also just like the people who were working that shoot and everything, they were just so awesome. So everything was just extremely comfortable, and all the YouTubers I was working with, like I'd known them for a while, so it was really easy. Like even like one of them even like works with me today. Like he's my main editor. So like Daniel Longya, he was on it. He was outside though. He had to sit on top of a lighthouse. So that was funny.
Oh, that poor man was freezing his balls off.
Yeah, no, he was definitely chilly after that one. Then we had like I think Noobwork was on it as well, who used to be a really, I think he was if he was not the biggest, he was the second biggest Minecraft channel in Norway.
No
And he went on to do some esports stuff, and he's done very well. But yeah, no, that was a really cool experience. I loved it. But then brand deals kind of stopped. So then it was like, oh, everything's doing pretty well now. Then suddenly you're essentially a gig worker when you're a YouTuber, especially that when your ad revenue is not doing that hot.
Especially at that time too.
Yeah, I mean, my ad revenue was like a couple $100 a month, but like the brand deals could give me an extra like $500 to $1,000 for certain deals. So on a month where I could land a few of those, it would be like, oh, we're living good.
Especially at 17.
Well, exactly. And that's why I was like, I'm going to drop out. I can make money doing this. Why would I want to do anything else? And then suddenly you really get humbled when you realize, oh, there's no more brand deals to do right now. It's hard. It's harder to get views now. Suddenly, that also happened, obviously, because it's like you can do things over and over again, and then it can work, and then suddenly you do this in your mind. At least you're doing everything that you thought you did to make the first viral video, and then it doesn't do anything. It just like flatlines, and you're kind of like, oh, this is bad.
The YouTuber curse. You were saying yesterday, I think it was off the podcast, but your biggest video is out of focus, and you're like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Oh, that was so bad. Oh no. Yeah, a good chunk of that video is literally out of focus, and it has
Put it
8
up, Finn.
million views, which is also like a curse. No, it's a blessing, but it's also a curse seeing that it's out of focus. Anyway, so back then, I got humbled because suddenly the brand deal stopped, and I didn't want to go back to school. So I was like, I'm going to make this YouTube thing work, no matter if I have to pick up another job.
Yep.
But then I realized, I dropped out of high school, so my job options are extraordinarily limited. So I looked at my options in the small town of Lillehammer, Norway, and I could work at a gas station. But that's a little bit sticky. Because a lot of people actually want to work that job. And then you have McDonald's there, and for some reason, McDonald's, at least in Lillehammer at the time for youth, that's pretty much one of the highest paying jobs for someone there. So then I realized, there's a nighttime like janitor / superintendent job. So, and this was at essentially grocery store, Maxpo, and offices. So Maxpo, for if you don't know, is a it's like a Home Depot or Lowe's,
Okay.
but it's like way smaller because it's Europe and everything in Europe is smaller. So yeah, it was all in one building, and essentially I just had to like clean that clean all the toilets, make sure the toilet paper was there. Oh, if the light's flickering, all right, gotta go get a ladder, change those lights, and then I'd clean the floors, drive the little like I forgot what the English word for it, but the thing that it's not a Roomba, but it's like that you sit on it, and it's not a Zamboni because I think that's on the ice skating rinks.
Yeah. Oh, like a buffer.
Yeah, it's like a buffer thing that you kind of ride on. You
Floor
go,
buffer.
Yeah, that I felt like I kept on calling it the unskippable loading screen to my friends because all you do is you drive extremely slow back or down, and you turn around, you do the same thing, and then you turn around and do the exact same thing, and it's like one of the most mind-numbing things possible.
It's that NPC left where you're like,
well, yeah, and like, I have so much respect for everyone that can wake up and do that every day. But it was just, for me at least, it was so depressing, and it motivated me to, when I got home, I crashed. I fell asleep, woke up, made YouTube videos again, and then went back to the job.
I think that's, though, as you said, it is like construction, office, sitting in an office, or working at like a, what are those called? Like a factory job where it's just repetitive work. I had the same thing. I did one half a day of a factory job. I dropped out of high school. I was like, I'll just get a job. I'll make money. Boom. I'll be good. And then I made it like 2 hours in a factory job where it was like, hey, these are going to stack up. When 10 stack up, you pick it up and you put it here. And you sit there or you stand there, and that's your job indefinitely. It was like 2 hours in. I was like, okay, I'm getting my GED and I'm getting out of here. I can't do this. Did that, and then I quit, and then moved to Texas because I was in Indiana. Moved down to Texas, got my GED, joined the military. I was like, I'm going to fast track this shit really fast. I'll just join because war sounds cool, but it's a lot of respect to people that can do that. And then flip side, entrepreneurship's not for everyone because it's a lot of work. A lot of work, and they don't understand that side. So it's like, I feel you on that one, but it's awesome. That was your motivating factor. You're like, okay, fuck. Sleep, get up, crush out what I want to do, go back to work to support what I have to do.
Yeah, and that's kind of like around then I kind of had the epiphany of like, at least the gaming sphere was pretty oversaturated, and I could not do what Vanoss, what Smitty was coming up at that time, but I did not make videos that was that good. So I kind of had that realization and was like, okay, how do I pivot? Where can I use my strong suits? And I yap a lot. And I've always been the person in school that was like, hey, did you know this thing happened? And then I would always look for crazy things to tell people, and they'd be like, there's no way that happened. And I was like, no, it really did happen. Here, look.
No shit.
And that was kind of like what I did a lot. And I was like, this is actually good. So then you had, obviously, Ray William Johnson's always been big, and I got a lot of inspiration from him. And then obviously you had people like Leafy is Here and Pyrocynical, and Memulus was another guy who just really did well early on. And another guy by the name of Will N.E. All of these guys started making these kind of like not sketch comedy, but no, it wouldn't be sketch. It's just commentary. So they did commentary on goofy stuff that happened in the world.
Yep.
And I was like, this is actually perfect. I just want to find goofy stuff to talk about.
Put my face
and
on
try
it.
to find goofier stuff. Try to find my own niche within the sphere here. And obviously some of it was like absolute drama slop earlier on.
We got them numbers though.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, but I was just passionate about talking about it. And I realized, oh wow, this is doing well. I want to weigh in my opinion here. And I like talking about stuff. So that's kind of like while I was doing the whole janitor gig, that's when I started pivoting into commentary stuff. And at the time I was talking to a bunch of other British creators at the time. And we decided that, hey, we could actually move into a house together. Because what if we just do that? Because at the time, Norway England was in the EU at the time, and Norway has the Schengen Agreement, so it's pretty much an open border. Between for our countries.
Yeah, what happened?
So we were just like, oh hey, that's cool. What if we move in together and then just all split rent, and then we can just all be bums together, and because we're not making a lot of money, but if we're enough people in the house, we could make it work.
Especially at that age.
Yeah, exactly. So
Roommates
and
are
then
dope.
we all signed to this network called Omnia Media. And Omnia Media went down in flames pretty recently because it got sold to a company that didn't run it very well, unfortunately. But back then it was great. Back then, back in the heyday of Omnia Media, it was awesome. And they were awesome to the creators. Back before they scammed creators. They did pay back all the creators, I think. I'm pretty sure all the creators got paid now. But back before some creators got scammed and didn't get paid, it was amazing. And they actually were like, hey guys, we have 2 network managers who also live in England, and we want to open a UK office for our European partners. You guys could all move in together and split rent. And that made it even cheaper for us.
Yeah.
So then we got a 5-bedroom house, and the house fell apart physically while we were living in it. So that was interesting.
Is it just a shitty house, or
it was a shitty old house. All the okay. So one thing that was cool about it was every bathroom. No, not every bathroom. Every bedroom had its own bathroom. So every bedroom had its own ensuite. That made it very nice when you have a group of 5 guys living together that we're not all splitting one bathroom. Quickly though, we all split one bathroom because all the bathrooms stopped working. Every bathroom except for my bathroom stopped working. That was in my room. So you got a lot of foot traffic going in and out of my room. But what was really bad was I guess all the usage on my bathroom put some pressure on those pipes that were way too old, and the pipes bursted under the floor of my room. And unfortunately, there was another creator by the name of Chubbs who was living right below me, and I guess a pipe just jumped out of the roof and started shooting water straight down on his gaming computer and TV. And flooded his room, and I think he lost multiple videos because the computer was gone and he didn't have them online backed up.
And you're not rolling in the money where it's like, I'll just go buy a brand new
Oh
editing rig.
no. So that was rough.
Oh,
that was a rough situation.
Fuck, what do we do? How do we turn the water off? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was I mean, there's so many things that happened there, and then wow, there's actually just so much that happened after that. Oh, I can't even believe it. Okay, so after that, I mean, we were talking to a guy who's now extremely controversial, Sky Does Minecraft, and he ended up inviting us out to LA. And
I think who it is.
One of the biggest Minecraft channels back in the day. And I also want to say that he has been nothing but awesome to me. Yeah, it is sad to see what happened and everything. But no, he ended up bringing us out to LA. We got to experience LA for a few months. I ended up actually bringing him.
Oh, we were talking about him this morning.
Yeah. Brought him to Norway as well. Showed him Norway. Also, I didn't bring him out to Norway. I invited. Oh, he came and stayed with my family and so on. But he definitely brought himself and also paid for my flight out to Norway and everything. Like, he was extremely generous. And after the 3 months in LA, it kind of turned into a complete shit show. And me and Chubbs at the time completely went broke out there. Because obviously we're making very minimum money. And this is also during the time where the YouTube ad boycott happened. So our little bit of money turned into just no money. So, like, again, things started to have a little bit of an uptrend when we lived in the house in England, because our ad revenue probably went from like $300 a month up to like $3,000 a month. And some of the other guys in the house were making way more. Yeah, Yeah, went out to, and then while we were living in that house, as everything was falling apart, ad boycott happened. So like when it rains, it really pours. And went out there, blew out the rest of my savings. Also maxed out a credit card. So you know, doing really stellar financial decisions.
Risk reward, baby.
And ended up going back to England, completely broke. And then at that time, me and Chubbs got this small townhouse in a not great area in Norwich. If you guys are familiar with Norwich, England, which very few of you guys would be, we lived right near East Anglia Square, pretty much behind. Let's see, what was nearby? It was by the Iceland there. So those are for the niche people who know the geography of Norwich.
The comments below.
It's like I think there was a jail right there. There was a whole bunch of dealers around there all the time. So we quickly found out, I was like, oh, this might not be the best area, but
This
hey.
explains the rent price.
Well, the rent was, our rent was $500 a month split by 2. So we paid $250 a month.
This is 2017.
No, end of 2017 going into 2018. And
Dude, that like LA, for anyone at the time, LA, you're gonna be spending like $2,000 for a shit apartment.
yeah, for a studio.
Yeah,
even.
studio at that time.
I had a
So
really good friend in Sherman Oaks paying probably $2,500 a month for a first floor studio apartment. So yeah.
dude, LA, people do not realize the pricing, and then you start looking into it, and you're like, especially
Yeah.
now. Oh god, I don't know how people
Yeah,
survive
now
out there.
it's like it's really, you have to make a lot of money to be comfortable there.
Yeah,
Now,
$4,000
and
easy.
yeah, it's brutal. But yeah, no, we were very, very blessed with that rent price. That was extremely that was good. Downside was it was tiny, obviously, and there was one bathroom in the house, and it was through my room again. So I'm really lucky with the positionings of these bathrooms in my early living conditions. So that was interesting. We also had so much mold growing out of the bathroom, and our landlord did nothing. Our landlord, we signed a lease, and he just bounced.
Oh, it was just like good.
Yeah, no, he signed the lease. He was like, all right, see ya. Never heard from him again. We just had to, we paid. We probably should have stopped paying though, because of how much mold was in that bathroom. But it was miserable conditions there. And that was a big kick to the face of you have to lock in now on YouTube. And it was it got so bad that I became that friend where I was I had to borrow some money from friends and stuff like that to just keep letting ends meet. I also had to borrow so much money from my girl Hannah, because I met Hannah out in LA because I convinced her to fly to LA while I was out there for the 3 months. We instantly clicked, and then we started long-term dating when I moved back. So we're just long distance. And Hannah was working at West Elm saving up money and then doing I was either DoorDash or Uber Eats or Postmates. It was one of the delivery services, because she didn't want people in her car driving Uber.
Yep.
So she just delivered food. And then she'd save up money by working at West Elm and that to fly over and spend some time with me out in the not great living conditions in Norwich. I don't know how or why she wanted to do it. And when she got there, she saw all the mold all over the place. And I don't know why she wanted to stick around, because I was bum maxing, to put it lightly. It was bad. I was fully specced out in my bum mode. But I had a big YouTube dream.
Yeah, dude,
So-
that's why you had. And again, most people would have quit multiple times in that journey, because you're like, okay, the LA thing didn't work. You're broke. Okay, fuck, I'll fly back home. Okay, this isn't working. I am now broke and I'm borrowing money, which you're probably like me. That is, dude, I will not ask for help for.
Yeah, it was bad. But I mean, at some point I was kind of oh, I cannot afford food. There's actually a video on my Twitter where I had one frozen meal left, but I didn't have any oil in the house to cook this frozen meal on the pan. And I remember walking to an Asian restaurant that was now down the road, and I was like, hey, can you put oil in my pan? Is that and I have it on video and everything. It's on Twitter. And he thought it was hilarious, and he gave me some. He was
course.
like, "Do you need some seasoning? Do you want anything?" I was like, I don't want to ask for it anymore. I just swallow the pan. Thank you so much." And then I ended up just going home and I cooked it, and that was literally my last meal because I had a YouTube paycheck coming in the next day, and that was my last meal for that until the next paycheck.
Dude,
and I'd already maxed out the freaking credit card, so I was out. I was out of mana completely.
You
And
did the
then-
struggle. You went through everything all the guys went through. Where it was like Cody lived with his mom. Nick, I forget. No, Nick was a electrician. He was doing good at that time. And then I was during my poor time. I would go to this one gas station. I knew the gas station that. If I had less than $5 on my account, it would still let me pump gas because the rest it needed like a minimum of $30 or $50, or it'd just be like declined. So it would let me go in the negative, go in the red, and I just fill my tank up. And I'd be like, okay, that will last me till payday. I'll just eat the $20 service charge.
And it was so bad as well because I had all my hometown friends thought I was doing really well because I had 100,000 subs on YouTube.
Yep.
They're like, "Yo, you have 100,000," but we were going through the ad boycott.
Yeah.
So, like, and then that was around, I think it was about December of 2017 is when they introduced showing if it was demonetized or a green video.
Gotcha.
And that's when we started getting a little clarity of what was going on here. So that's when like money started coming back in. But obviously I wasn't making any viral content. So, I mean, my paychecks were still it was below 1,000 a month. So that's what I was kind of living on. And I remember having, and I think right around the same time as I went and got the rice meal and everything, or no, the oil on the pan and everything, I had a really viral video and like extremely viral, and it was demonetized. I got 2 million views in like 2 days, but it got demonetized immediately, and I made $30 from it. And I was like, "Wow, we're so close here. If only that thing was monetized, that would have been pretty nice."
I wouldn't be going to the Asian store to ask for oil. That's all I need, dude. Oh, so close. You're like, fuck. Okay.
That's actually one of the moments that I was like, I was so embarrassed filming it. But I'm like, I'm actually really happy I have that video and I posted that video, because looking back, it's like, oh wow, that's cool.
Dude, it's a testament. And again, it's awesome to see. It's like you were embarrassed. You're like, okay, but now you get to reflect on that or show others. Be like, hey, look, it can get worse. I assure you. This is how close I was.
It was bad. But also, I'm like a delusional optimist, and I had fun every day. So my situation sucked, but because I was doing what I like doing every day, it made the situation okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, like at the time, I was living with my best friend. we didn't have shit, but it was good times. And I do look back at those times. I was like, wow, I had a lot of fun, even though I was extremely stressed. So, like, hey, it is what it is. There were some trade-offs there.
God.
But then, obviously, I just stayed uploading, and I kept refining my videos and learning from them. I finally cut out swearing in my content, and that's what I realized. Oh, that's how I can get monetized. Wow. Now I can make a little bit more money doing this again, because before you could make money while swearing. Before the whole PewDiePie ran on a bridge and said some words, and then sent some, what was it, it Fiverr to the Indians?
Yep.
There was a combination of a certain amount of things there.
It was
that happened, but so that sucked. But hey, we lived through it, live and learn. He learned from that. I mean, he became he's still like, he was an awesome creator, and I feel like he's like aged and matured very well as a YouTuber. I still is like, he will always be like one of the Hall of Famers on YouTube.
He grew with his audience. Just his entire story, you just get to see it, and then growing with the audience, and then changing, and then what he does now. He's like, hey, I'm in Japan. I'm with my wife, my kid.
And as like someone who's Norwegian, seeing like a Swedish guy coming from essentially nothing, becoming like a YouTube titan was extremely inspiring as well.
Yeah,
So
100 million.
because he went from, I think he worked at a hot dog stand into what he does now. So cool to see.
That's wild.
But yeah, no, so just kept struggling and then kept just refining the content, trying to make it better, trying to figure out like how I can get more views, what people actually want to watch, and just kept working on that and trying to just take as much data as I can from my last videos, why they didn't work, or if they worked, why did it work.
Analytics will tell you. Like the graph will tell you like when people start checking out. You're like, okay,
that's true, but we didn't have all the analytics we have now back then, which is also like you didn't have a 1 out of 10 or anything. A lot of creators do not like the 1 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 because it is a little bit like misleading. I am one of those people who I'm like, all right, YouTube, just tell it to me straight. Just pull the Band-Aid off. Let me see. Did today's video suck or did it not? And then I'll do the internal thing of like, well, did I make this to get a lot of views or did I make this because I wanted to make this video? And a lot of the videos I make because I wanted to make this video, and I'm completely fine with those flopping. But anyway, kept working at those, didn't have all the analytics, and then suddenly I made a video on Lil Tay, which was crazy because you had this young girl claiming she owned all these condos and everything, and then we found out that her mom was a realtor, a luxury realtor, and she was flexing her mom's condos. And then her mom ended up getting fired from that job. It was just a very laughably stupid story. And she was just saying so much outlandish and offensive stuff on top of that I was like, number one, where is her parents? I guess there. And I guess they're just allowing her to do this. And it was like, okay. So just checked all the boxes for like a laughably stupid story for me, because all my videos, I'm just trying to find the dumbest possible thing that is unbelievable to talk about, and that really checked that box. And somehow that video went like crazy viral. It was like 7 million views very quickly, and then I made a follow-up video that also got 8 million views in a few days, and that was like a life-changing experience. And those were monetized, so it was just like, oh wow, okay, I'm not poor anymore. This is kind of nice. I can be my own man, and I can actually provide for Hannah, not just leech and bum off of Hannah. So that was a good change. And around that time, it was like that. It couldn't have happened at a better time as well, because our lease went up. Like my last 2 videos blew up 2 weeks before our lease ended, and I didn't know where to go because I didn't have any money for like a down payment for a new place or anything. I was kind of like, I probably have to move home with my parents. Like, it's over. That was kind of like what was happening. And then those 2 videos happened, and I was like, it's not over. We're so back. Hello,
dude. That stress leading up to that moment.
Oh yeah, no, it was something. And then, oh man, it was so bad. But so now I was in this predicament of, because obviously, you know, YouTube pays you a month late.
Yep.
Completely out of money. And I'm in England, and I have all my stuff, and I have to move out of England. And I'm like, how do I get out of this pickle? And one of my online friends by the name of Robert, who I basically owe my life to at this point for doing this. I don't know how or why he decided to do this, but I essentially told him my entire situation. And he lives in Switzerland. And I went, hey, Rob, I'm cooked here. Is there any way you can come pick me up?
No shit.
And I was like, I don't have any money now, but I will pay you when I get paid. And I'll make it worth it for you when I get paid. And he was like, that sounds like a fun road trip. And then he took vacation from because he was a butcher. So he was like, I haven't taken any vacation time. So he took vacation time. He drove from Switzerland to Norwich, England to pick me up, and drove me to Norway before driving me home. No, before driving himself back home to Switzerland again.
That's a good friend right there. That's a homie right there. It's like, I got
and
you,
also,
bro.
I mean, this guy, I owe him so much. This is also the guy I was loaning money from, and he kept donating money to me when I could not pay my bills. And like, yeah, this guy is insane. Like, if you go on my Twitch, he's actually the top donator as well of everything.
And then you made it right, though. You're like,
yeah.
I promise, I'll make it right. I'll make it right.
It was like Robert, and there was another guy by the name of Morton, who unfortunately isn't with us anymore, which is like really, that was my friend I said I lost to cancer. They are, because you asked because I lost another friend pretty recently.
Yeah.
And you asked if that's happened before, and that's
Yep. Your best friend that you're like, hey, this was one of the first ones. And then
like one of my close friends growing up, obviously also one of the people who just for some reason kept supporting me, kept like just throwing me $50 left and right, like when I was like I do not have money for food tonight, would do that. And unfortunately, he passed away to leukemia, so that sucked.
Brutal. Both those, like, I don't know if you've ever talked about your one friend too, because that story is wild. We've talked about like lost a lot of friends. A lot of the people on the podcast have, but even your one trip, I was like, what the fuck? Like night one is
that's
one of those hard ones.
It's not. That sucks. It's a rough situation. That one was the most, or that was really brutal or obviously both sucked, but like,
that one was out of the blue.
The other one was out of the blue. Morton, it was a very slow decline. And he also like, what was so brutal about Morton, was like, he, at a certain point he was losing hope. And he was kind of very open about losing hope, and we were all like, "Nah, dude, you're gonna make it. We're gonna go for this big boys trip when you're in full remission." And no. So he was just he was out of energy because he was getting cooked by radiation.
It's hard, especially keeping positive. I know I was telling you, like, Sav's father just passed recently, and it was within 2 years, like. But it was that Lewy body, so like that advanced dementia that just happens, and then you regress in 2 years to like nothing, and then you just don't remember anything, and you lose, like, he didn't know anyone anymore, and then he's just asking for his parents. Like it's just one of those things. You're like, fuck, dude. Like watching that happen, and then Sav was being strong through it, and then you're just like, oh, this is brutal. Fuck, or out of the blue. Like your one friend, it just sucks. Like loss is unfortunately part of life, but then it's how do you deal with it, and then how do you help others try to cope with it, or at least celebrate their life. It just sucks when it's young, because then you're like, older people, you're like, hey, I can celebrate their life. They lived a very long life. But when you're in like young, war, heart attack, any of that, and it's like, fuck, I just feel bad.
Yeah.
Family, friends, oh man, okay, I'll at least, I don't know if you do it. I know for me, with my buddies in the military, or the dudes that took their own lives, it was always, I'll live in their honor. So I'm just going to kick ass and then make sure if they're looking down, it's not like, my buddies would be pissed if I was sad. They would want me to mourn, and then they'd be like, you better kick ass at life. Otherwise, I'm going to be pissed if you just use me as an excuse not to be happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is a good way to look at it. So that's how I've always done it. So all my buddies that I lost, I'm like, okay, well, now I do this because of them. I'm kicking ass because of them. And that was always my way to cope. And I think that helped me. I don't know if you found a method for yourself.
Yeah, no, it is that. Just literally that. Just try to be the best version of myself. And that's what's gotten me through a lot of it. After the Morton thing hit really hard, because I was out way after I moved out from, because Robert brought me to Norway. I was in Norway for 1 month at my parents' house, waiting for my YouTube paycheck to finally come in. Hannah flew out and spent a few weeks in Norway with me, and that was awesome. And then when I got paid, I decided to get an apartment for us in Arizona, and then moved to Arizona, and finally moved back to the States. And I've been in the U.S. since 2018. And that was the first time I was like, oh, I can actually provide for her. I can live with her and be like, hey, you had me for so long. Don't worry about rent. You're chilling. And that was awesome.
Best feeling providing for your family.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
oh,
it's amazing. And obviously I worked hard on that for a while, and kept contact with Morton during that whole situation. And then we went out to Area 51 where it's a dead zone, and we filmed the whole bit of like Storm Area 51 and all that stuff. And that's where I was on like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, like every news source had me in the orange spacesuit because I went on, I guess, I don't know why. I walked onto the camera and they asked me, what do you think about this? And I said, I forgot what I said. What was my quote? It was like, it's like Halloween, but just we're annoying people or something like that.
dude, I remember that entire time frame too, which is wild.
Yeah, it was a wild thing, and I can't believe I don't even remember my own quote there. But that was all over the place, and I was pretty stoked about that. And then when I got internet, or number one, when I got internet, I had a mixed thing. Number one, I was on like 300 different news articles of me just all over the place, and then I get a text in the chaos of my phone, Morton passed away.
Oh,
So it was just like, at the same time, I was like, oh my fuck.
that high instantly removed, like
Yeah.
gone.
No, so drove back home from Vegas area because it was like 2 hours outside of Vegas, roughly. So drove back home and then immediately booked the first flight out to Norway to go to his funeral and hang out with his family. And I hung out with his family for a bit, and then with the hometown friends and everything. And yeah, that was brutal. So yeah, no, the highs and lows happen, but I guess that's just life. And the lows make you appreciate the highs, especially with the people you love. Because it made me infinitely grateful for all the time I got with them. And obviously it went home, and I've been blessed enough to have a really good career, a long-lasting career. The pandemic sucked like it did for most of us. I feel like a lot of creators actually blew up during the pandemic. I let it get to me. I just got depressed during it.
No shit. Was it just
So-
because of no interaction or what?
Yeah, it was
aspect of
isolation and just sitting inside. I guess it was like I've been so comfortable sitting inside for so long, but then suddenly when I was forced to be inside, I was just depressed. I don't know. I just don't know why. And that was the first time ever that I kind of let off the gas on just making content.
Dude, depression comes out of nowhere, and then it is so hard to understand it or catch it because you're just like, I'm lazy. You'll make reasons where it's like, oh, I'm not depressed. We don't have the best health care. Or even as a dude, you're probably same, or at least military. It's like shit going to therapy, anything. So you're like, oh, I'll just handle these.
I still have never been to a therapy session, so I maybe I should do that once or twice in life. But
Brother in Christ, it's amazing. Oh, you
But
learn
yeah.
so much on how to like compartmentalize, deal,
and
open
regulate
up.
yourself.
Because God knowing I would have fucked myself
Right.
outside of it until I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
this makes way more sense. Okay, that's what this is, that feeling from like even PTSD. Here's what hypervigilance is. Oh, I have to live with it. So it's something that it's not a problem, or it is manageable. Here's the tools to manage it. Oh, I can do this and feel better. Oh, I can then give this to my friends that are dealing with the same thing, and then they can deal with it. So then it's just this tool belt you get. That's what I always call it. It's the tool belt that then I can hand off to my friends that are going through a situation that I already went through. So I'm like, oh, you're dealing with depression. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling it? Is it outside? Is it war related? Is it relationship? Oh, X, Y, and Z. And you can break that down for them, and then you can see that clarity hit for them. And like, oh shit, I never thought about it that way. Oh, okay. Because depression's hard. Like, fuck, I just went through I talked about it on, I forget when, the other day, but I talked about it. It was like, man, a couple weeks ago, just some of the worst depression I've ever had. And it's just not finding that light at the end of the tunnel. And you're like, okay, I gotta figure out what's going on. I have to go to the gym. I have to go do these things. And I just have to make sure I'm staying busy while I read or figure something out. try not to isolate myself because it's super easy. I don't know if you find it easy. I love isolating myself.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But I just go down to my basement and sit and make videos.
yeah.
That's how I solve every problem in my life.
You're like, I'll just work.
Yeah, you know, exactly. My current coping mechanism to life is working.
Oh, really quick. Where does the name Atozy come from?
It's A to Z, and originally it was supposed to be A to Z, and I added a Y on it because A2Z was taken on World of Warcraft. I added a Y, and it was supposed to still be A to Z, but then everyone started calling me Atozy. And I was like, all right, I guess it's just kind of Atozy right now. But the whole channel is technically A to Z because I cover everything from A to Z.
Which makes sense now with the graphic element, and your font makes way more sense now.
Yeah.
Because it's ABCD. It's
literally
literally
it's the alphabet. Yeah.
That,
ABCs.
fucking... Dude,
Yeah.
I was so confused on all of that. I was like, I have no idea where this dude came up with this name or what the... Because here's the design.
Yeah. No, it's...
Okay.
It is A to Z, and some people even call me A to Z, and I'm completely fine with that. So it's like, because that's what originally it was, but then it just became Atozy, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit and be a stickler on it. It is what it is.
That ain't good enough.
But exactly. Where was I even? I don't know.
No, we were just talking about depression and kicking ass and working hard through it.
Exactly. You just kind of work through it. It's fun though.
If you ever need any books to read on that, or I have a stack of therapy books, psychology books.
Hell yeah, I'm all ears.
I will send you
I
all.
love reading,
dude. Books on books. It's so helpful though, so fucking helpful because you're like, oh, okay, thank God, okay, that was much needed to know that little aspect, and it's not a problem, or I can make it through this. And you get to see, dude, the one thing I love about the unsub like community the most is everyone helps each other. Like, oh shit, you're going, like, if you do a post on the Reddit, that Reddit is like, we have a very active subreddit, and if you post on there immediately, you'll have 10 comments, 20 comments helping, like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what's your phone number? Like, reaching out and talking to each other. Same for the Discord. It's wild. You just get to see that instant, like, what can we do for you? Oh, well, why are you feeling that way? So
community is important. It's been good. With the most recent tragedy as well, it's like, thankfully none of us were alone when that happened, because that was just dealing with the French police, and we were murder suspects and everything. Like, it was a whole thing.
Oh, dude.
So
at day one too, like,
I guess, long story short, like, one of my close friends and manager unfortunately passed away this summer. We went to this trip. We were invited for a YouTube event, Cannes Lions in France, and we were like, oh, this is gonna be the most awesome trip of our lives. We're going to Cannes with the boys. And we had a house. We were like 7 people in this house, and we rented a really nice house. And we got there and met up with Michael. It was super hyped to hang out. I was the second one who showed up. It was Michael, and then another creator by the name of Jordan Howlett was there, and Hafu Go was also, but he showed up later on, unfortunately. And I spent the last night with Michael. We ended up having a little scotch. We played tennis and jumped in the pool and just goofed around. And he went to bed early because he was exhausted. And he was just like, boys, we're going to have the best week of your lives. And unfortunately, that was the last time we ever saw him, because he went upstairs to his room and he fell asleep. And the next morning, me and Jordan got up and we ended up going to the grocery store because no one else was awake yet. And we were like, all right, let's get breakfast. Let's make breakfast for everyone. Go to the grocery store, goof around because we're in France and everything is in a language we don't understand and everything. We came back. We ended up making breakfast. I made breakfast for Michael and everything. And he still wasn't awake. So I was like, all right, Odd, I'll just wash everything up. We'll just do all the dishes and everything. Still wasn't awake. Okay, still Odd. Then our other friend, Doug, showed up, who's our other manager. He arrived to the house then, and we told him, like, whoa, Michael's sleeping for a long time. And he was like, yeah, it happens sometimes. They just conk out because they work a lot. And then I was like, we started doing the math. And we're like, okay, he's been sleeping for at least 13 or 14 hours now. This is a little odd. This is off. And so we went to check on him, and he was not with us anymore. So then we immediately started doing CPR and everything, and then we felt his face and realized he was completely cold. So that's kind of when we had the fuck moment to where no CPR is doing anything here. We called the police, obviously. Both Doug and Jordan ran for the emergency services because we're in this like elaborate community that was a freaking maze. Everyone we can't speak or they didn't speak English. It would be chaos. Impossible for us to to explain where the house is and everything. So we had to have a guard that was for the community do that. And immediately, obviously, ambulance show up, and they think it's foul play. So then the police show up, and then we're all questioned, and then we're all taken into the police for questioning and everything. And we're asked, like, did we ever have any animosity to this guy? Did he ever scam you? All these things. Like, we were questioned for like 2 to 3 hours each. Didn't go home until like 2, 3 in the morning. Worst day of my life, pretty much. Like, that was awful. And we had all these obligations they had to be to throughout the whole week, and that was the first night. And yeah, so from there on out, we just kind of did the bare minimum of what we had to do for the event and get out of there. And that's how I ended up going to Paris instead of going home, because I didn't just want to go home after that. I wanted to kind of be with the people who went through that with me for a little bit longer, because then you don't feel that alone. Obviously, I would have had Hannah and so on at home, but I don't know.
It's not as relatable.
Like that. Yeah, correct. So I ended up going to Paris with my friend Hafu and Glenn, and we were there for a couple nights, and that was good. That was a good time there.
Celebrate his life the best you can at that point, like.
And then we went home for the funeral, and what I liked about his funeral was it was a whole celebration of life rather than a depressing funeral.
Yeah.
That's how he would have wanted it as well. So I'm very happy his family kind of honored him in that way.
That's awesome.
So we all put on white suits and flowers and colorful stuff. So that was nice. It was a good celebration of life.
That's the way to do it. It is. It sucks you went through that. Sorry you went through that, because that is not easy, especially at that young of an age for a buddy. You're like, what the fuck? You feel that's the hardest thing. It's like feeling invincible, and then that wake up call. It's like, fuck, uh-oh. I had a buddy, RT, almost the same situation. He is 5 years younger than me, 6 years younger, so he's like 34. He was at a work trip for watches. He Vortex watches and Colorado watches. He owns both of them. Like, the only American watch company. Like, literally, there's only 2, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
And he got lucky. His heart attack hit when he was at the gym. He was in the hotel gym, and then his body stopped working and fell to the side. And then a person was in the gym with him, and like, they looked and like, what the fuck's this guy doing? And then they're the ones that went and got the ambulance. But if he would have if he
was in his room alone,
yeah, nothing. And that's all. The only thing that saved him was that. It was, and he was super, like, it freaked him out, rightfully. And he was like, man, if I would have finished my gym like 30 minutes earlier, went into my room or fell asleep or any of that, like, everything would have changed. Wife, kids, everything. He was like, it was a wake up call for him. And he called me after, because I texted, like, hey man, how you doing? Nothing. And then I got a text from his wife 2 weeks later. Hey, RT was in the hospital. He had a massive heart attack. All this. I was like, holy shit. Whoa, are you awful? What do you need? Can we do anything? We'll send all love, prayers, whatever. Let me know. And then he texted me back. He hopped on a call. He was like, first thing, he's like, Eli, you need to work way less. He was just worried about me, because he works a lot. And then he was like, I know you work more than me. He's like, you need a vacation. I was like, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, it's those little wake up calls. Like, I've had so many near death experiences. Like, I got so desensitized to it, Where it's like, oh, this is just part of life. Like, oh, I almost died today. Oh, some like getting shot
Yeah.
up, blowing up. Like I've told you, like brief things of it. And my smoke a cigarette. That's what I would do. Like lose buddies. Oh, fucking smoke a cigarette. Oh, fuck. Like so many funerals in 15 months. Like you're doing 16 funerals in 16 months. And you're like, oh, fuck, dude. Like all these are homies that you're like clearly brothers with. And then all of that. And then you go back home and then you're kicked to the civilian world in 3 months.
Yeah.
And you're like, and that's where you have that. I don't know what to do. Don't have a community anymore because you're with your community and then now you're gone out of it. So you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. No, it's brutal.
It's crazy. Okay, now we'll go on to a little more positive. Who are some YouTubers, like who is the worst was a YouTuber you're like, I do not like this person. You have to have a couple in there where you're like just what they do, or you're like, like they're just repeatedly doing dumb shit. Because I know streamers are probably your go-to on. They keep messing up.
I don't think there's a person that I can think of that I'm like, how do they have followers? Because like, even though there's a lot of like IRL streamers and people who I cover, which I'm like obviously not a fan of, I see why they have a following, because people want to watch a slow train wreck.
Oh, that's very, dude. Never mind. You're 100% right,
like,
homie.
Like it makes sense, right? Because like
Johnny Somalis.
Well, yeah. I mean, like it's. I see why people watch them, because they want to see someone knock him out on live. They want to see him get arrested. They want so it's like, when is that going to happen? And that's why like he makes money based on donating something that would get someone arrested. Like the whole goal of a lot of his text-to-speech donations or music donations going off live is to get him confronted or get him arrested. So like, I understand why people watch them. No, there's really not. I mean, obviously like there was like all the cringe of like the guys who are like grifting and making like trying to scheme their obvious not kids content into the kids section of YouTube. I hate those, or I really dislike those types of creators. I just dislike any creator that's trying to ruin it for kids, push something disgusting for kids. That's where I draw the line. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. Like the whole like I forgot the name of the creator. He did the whole like Spider-Man and Elsa gone wrong or gone sexual or whatever.
Oh Jesus.
And that somehow was being recommended to kids and dude, all sorts of stuff. Like, it's just like, come on, dude.
Dude, it's like the Roblox shit, that like that chaos. And then
that is a whole separate thing that's just a massive problem as well. I have not looked into that.
Brother.
So I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. I've just been covering the laughably stupid stuff. I mentioned on the Unsubscribe podcast, like my biggest problem right now is I'm covering 20% of what I want to cover. There's just so many topics for me to cover that it's just impossible for me to get through everything. And obviously every video I post, I need to research it and I need to know what's going on. So I only have a limited amount of hours for how many topics I can do. And like the absolute max out for me right now is 2 in a day. And I can't, I mean, there's very few days I managed to do that. So like daily right now is working for me.
Which is still, again, I tip my hat. We all the guys here tip our hats, because we're like, holy shit, homeboy's doing 1 a day is a fucking insane to any of us. And we're like, homeboy's passionate about it.
It's all I do. It's like, I love it. I love it. Like, I mean, like, this is my hobby. Like, I want to do this every day. Like, I already have like 3 videos that I'm going to prep on the flight home.
God,
so,
I love
and then
it.
when I get home, before I go to bed, I'm going to record 1 or 2 videos.
Oh, I love it. It's so motivating. You make me feel like a piece of shit. I'm like, oh, I need to work harder. Got it.
I gotta. Hey, you're making content right now.
I know. I gotta step it up, dude. The Roblox shit. I'll send you like the quote from the CEO, or you will hear that and be like, "Is a company said this?" Papa Meat talked about it, and he was like, "Dude,
this is a public company worth billions of dollars," and they were saying some crazy stuff, or
this is a public brother. This is a public statement, and you're going to be absolutely blown away.
Roblox employees choosing shareholder interest over children's safety. And when asked about their approach to child safety, he said, quote, "You have to make a decision, right? You can keep your players safe, but then there'll be less of them on the platform. Or you just let them do what they want to do, and then the numbers all look good, and the investors will be happy." Evil. That is what we like to call just downright
That was
evil.
Disappointing. That is evil.
Dude, a company saying that. A company saying it's
A
like,
public
well,
billion-dollar company. Yeah, that's
18 billion or 80 billion? 80 billion. And then what's worse is this year they got in trouble because they were still under, for tax reasons. I forget why they were doing something, but they were labeled as a small business. Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
New York Stock Exchange. They're a small business.
Yeah. And that all that came out and they're like, why is it registered like this? And they're like, oh. But yeah, it was, well, we have to keep the investors happy.
Well, that's disappointing to hear.
Dude,
There's always something every day to find out that makes me lose a little bit of hope here in humanity. But there's so much good, thankfully, that it counteracts that. But damn. Yeah, no, that sucks. That sucks.
I know you're here. Like, it was awesome. You're a great family man. I loved it. Like, when you hopped in the car, you were FaceTiming your kiddos. I was like, oh, this is awesome to see. Like, all of us are big family guys down here. So when we see somebody like that, we're like, fuck yeah, this guy's going to get along quite well. Okay, perfect. And then you were at Brandon Shop just living the dream life. Like, oh, here's all the guns you would ever need to see, period. And you're like, holy shit, this is a lot of fucking guns.
The inner Halo fanboy in me was very happy when I saw the replica Halo gun that was made there. That was pretty cool.
I didn't even know he had that one. I was so
that was so dope.
FN2. He has the F2000, but he has like the actual Halo version of it.
Yeah,
working.
That was really cool.
Huh?
Makes me want one.
Well, the last question before we close this out, and you have to hop on your Uber. What piece of advice would you have for somebody getting into the YouTube space?
Oh wow, okay. Okay, so first identify what you want to do a lot of. So you better be passionate about it because you're going to have to do a lot of it if you want to get anywhere. See I feel like okay, so first you need to study the entire like what's working in your niche that you want to get into, and if it's a new niche or something new, that could even be better. But what's working in other niches, how can you parallel that into what you're passionate about and structure it in a way where a lot of people will be interested in it? Because I feel like I disagree with a lot of these like YouTuber gurus where it's like, oh, it's like this one big algorithm controlling everything. At the end of the day, the quote unquote algorithm is just people. So you're playing for people's attention, right? So you better provide some serious value if you're going to get that attention. So it's kind of like, how can I make a very fun or interesting video to keep people watching it and actually enjoy spending their time with you? And you have to do it a whole lot, and you have to keep learning from that over and over again. So that's like, I guess the bare bones of advice that I would give someone looking to do this. And also know that success, especially overnight success, is an anomaly. The successful creators I know they didn't blow up overnight. They slowly built their channel brick by brick, and just stuck with it. They stuck with it for the highs and the lows, and they just kept learning it, and they kept a positive attitude, and they ended up entertaining hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people. And that's what I would recommend people doing.
Dude, Atozy is an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Fucking go check him out. Thank you again, brother. That was amazing. Just everything.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having me down here. This creator house is so awesome.
Thank you.
They have such a cool spot down here.
Oh, we appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Fuck you.